Hey guys, it's Jake here with etrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Firestone heavy duty air compressor. This is going to be an onboard air compressor. I've got my truck up in the air just to show you a quick comparison between our old compressor and our new one. Now this is still a Firestone compressor that is available. It's just the standard duty, the light duty version. I've got 7,500 pound bags on my truck, the RED Label Firestone bags. So really was probably not a great idea to start with this one because it only has a max PSI of 100 PSI, whereas this one's going to have a max PSI of 150. It's going to fill those bigger bags much faster, help to carry those heavier loads and inflate them while I've got the loads on there. And you can see the size comparison, the difference between the two of them. It is a vast difference. The air fitting, the air filter is going to be the exact same. The air chuck fitting here is going to be the exact same. This fitting is actually the same. So there's a lot of similarities except for the size and the power itself. There's many reasons of why you may be wanting to do this swap. It could be just like me and your old one just burns out. It probably wasn't the right size compressor to begin with. I've got the heavier airbags on my truck, so I probably should have started with the heavier compressor too, but I wanted to see if it would do a well enough job. I was hoping the smaller compressor would be a little bit quieter. That way when I was airing my airbags up at night and at a campground late at night or early in the morning, it wasn't super loud. Just didn't work out for me. This weather gets to the compressors. They do have an IP rating, but it is not submersible. So the road grime, the salt, I've got bigger wheels and tires on my truck, so it's always slinging dirt and road grime onto the compressor. So there's lots of different reasons. You could just not like the fill rate that the smaller compressor has, and you want to swap it into a faster fill rate with a stronger compressor. That's what we're going to show you how to do today. Now, when you're pairing this compressor up, you are going to want to pair it with a pre-existing Firestone ECU so that it works together. You can use it with pretty much any ECU. I have the one that has the dual fill, the auxiliary for an air tank if you wanted to add that later. This compressor is rated to fill an air tank that is up to 3 gallons in size. Now that we've gone over some of the details about the compressor, let's go ahead and show you how to get our old one swapped out. To begin our installation, what we're going to need to do is get our old compressor removed from our bracket. We've got this bracket we made up here. We need to take this bracket off so that we can get to the heads of the bolt behind here because we're going to be updating it or upgrading it to that new heavy duty compressor, so it's not going to bolt in the same spot. If we were just changing over to the same size, all I'd have to do is take these nuts off, get the new one on here, and then put the nuts back on. But since we're upsizing, I'm going to take this bracket off, I'll get this removed, and then we can put our new compressor in place. Take your replacement compressor. Once you get the old compressor removed, we're going to take the valve out of the fitting out of our old compressor. Unless you want to get a new one, you can do that. We're going to tighten this until we can't see that Loctite anymore, or close to it. It doesn't have to go all the way in. You just want it to be really snug in there. And we've got holes that line right up with the holes on our compressor. We'll get it lined up with those, and we'll take our bolts and nuts and put them back in place. Now we've got our compressor mounted up onto our bracket. Before we put it back up on our frame, I'm going to make a new air line for this. So let's cut a small section. You want to make sure you push it in to where it clicks into place. And then here, again, make sure that all of your lines have nice straight cuts on them. When you push it in, it feels like it's going to stop there, and it'll pop a little bit further past that. Then you want to take your new air filter inlet, and we're going to thread that in on the end. I'm going to take my bracket, lift it back up into place. I'm going to throw these hooks over the frame and get it all reattached. We're going to just reconnect our air fittings and then reconnect our wiring. Now we've got all our connections made. We're going to reconnect our power. And we should hear our compressor come on for a short time there. With our compressor reconnected to our ECU, I'm just going to take my remote, bump it up to say 30 PSI, and check to see if it's working properly. There we go. Now that we know it's working properly, that's going to do it for the installation. The only other thing that we need to do is go under there and check for any leaks on those reconnections that we made with our air lines. What you're looking for on these connections is you're looking for rapid bubbles, large or small, to be forming at the site of where this is inserted into our ECU. If you don't see any, the bubbles you're seeing now are just from the spray bottle with soapy water in it. But if you don't see any reforming, then you know that you don't have any leaks. If you do have any leaks, all you have to do is just pop that connection out. Be careful, if you got it pressurized to 50 PSI like we do, it's gonna be kind of startling. So pop that connection out, and then you will want to put a nice clean cut on it. Make sure that you're using like a sharp razor blade or something. You can use a razor blade on like a piece of wood or on a piece of metal, something like that. If you want to get some tubing cutters off our website, you definitely can. It makes reconnecting these a lot easier. But then just reinsert it, test them again at 50 PSI, and then do that until you don't have any more leaks. Hopefully this video was able to help you get your new Firestone heavy duty compressor installed.